My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system, which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com.
Alrighty, it's 8:29 a.m. and upon arrival at S.I.I.S Liquor, you do have what is the state's fake son and Tracy Banks loitering 4WON 432. She's crossing path again. She dropped me off at B&G Plaza a long time ago with regard to what is her supposedly rushing off to work. She's monitoring with the Ontario police, and that's why I'm dropped off. And the Ontario police are in relevant position using their vehicle lights as light activity. And while they are present under the fake sun, which is over my head. And so let me speak to what is the malice of a psychopath. This is the same demon that's monitoring with the Ontario police. I've given you plenty of examples, but there's even more that I haven't specifically honed in on. But it is already published in, for example, what is the list of police encounters, the multiple acts of criminal summoning, criminal defamation, and kidnapping that Tracy Banks has engaged in with law enforcement. And so while she is monitoring, the elements are present. She's monitoring. She's dropping me off. The Ontario police are visibly present, engaging in the pattern of conduct. She says, "Oh, stay away from them," as though she's concerned, like she cares about my safety. And you're talking about also what is supposed to be a deterrence from documenting. But let me be clear. All of that is actually, with the exception of what is deterrence, they actually don't want me to document. But aside from that, that's the malice of a psychopath who is exposing me to the threat, who is monitoring with the police while she is saying it, okay? And let me be clear, this is the same minion monitoring with the police who are playing back on their cell phone conversations that are occurring inside of her apartment. She is monitoring. I'm just giving you that as an example of understanding the malice of a psychopath. All right. Let me be clear. That same psychopath, she remains loitering. She watched the entire time she's monitoring, just like she knows what's going on at the Fontana Lewis Library. She knows what's going on right here. She's sitting, not only because she's sitting around trying to watch. All right. While she's monitoring, she's loitering in relevant position. She's monitoring on a communication device. She is engaged in and is documented again. 8:29 a.m. as I start recording this, she crosses path just like the rest of these demons. Not different. Okay, but like I said, she is monitoring, but she's also sitting around watching while I document the Ontario Police Department right now, who are present under the fake sun. All right, 8:23 a.m. The state's fake sun is directly over the S.I.I.S Liquor, and all I'm doing is reminding you about common sense. Okay, let's go back about a week. The state's fake sun is remaining over me while I'm already at the Starbucks. Not only on January 22nd, I'm there as of 7:35 in the morning. January 30th. I go there again just to make another example, and then I go to Pomona. But where am I at this time? We are talking about what is the B&G Plaza. I'm sorry, not the B&G Plaza. I'm at the B&G Plaza right now. But you're talking about what is present already at the Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue, where I remain. 7:35 in the morning, I remain there. And there is no vantage point when I'm showing you the fake sun, as I'm facing what is Vineyard. To be facing Vineyard is to be facing east. That would be my presence where I am west of Starbucks and I am facing east. That would be while I am, and this is the impossibility, and this is the absence of any ubiquitous presence of some light source. It's not, this is common sense. While I'm at Starbucks and I'm facing Vineyard, I'm showing you the S.I.I.S restaurant, which is where the state is aiming this fake sun above that building and aiming that light source directly over me at that Starbucks parking lot while I'm in the parking lot, and then moving it around while I'm in the parking lot, but remaining there the entire time. Never moving what is west up Holt Boulevard until the moment I get on the bus, but never moving west up Holt Boulevard. It is not in the direction of the B&G Plaza, over the S.I.I.S Liquor, over the intersection of Sultana, and it's not in that direction. I continuously am looking what is east to capture on my camcorder, on my cell phone and video, what is the position. And that, by the way, if it was in this direction, while I'm at Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue, I would be facing west. All right, and so in other words, another aspect of common sense. How are you also understanding? Because when I am showing you what is the fake sun that's remaining over me at Starbucks, and I'm facing east, the intersection of Vineyard and Hope Boulevard, and I'm facing east and capturing that video, you have what is not at the same time this light source that's supposedly over my head and also over the S.I.I.S Liquor in the B&G Plaza parking lot at the same time. No, it's not over my head behind me over the S.I.I.S Liquor while I'm remaining physically at the Starbucks and I'm facing east. That is not coexisting. There is no ubiquitous presence of the actual sun, nor is it possible with regard to the presence of the fake sun. That is Satan itself, by the way. No, it's not. It's documented. It's remaining over me. That is, if that was the actual sun, that's the significance of the documentation, because that's not the sun. And that's why it's present over me at S.I.I.S Liquor at 8:23 a.m. arriving. Just like as it always is, street for street, turn for turn, coming from 630 North Fern, and that's what you're focusing on. These demons of the Ontario Police Department are present, not only present under the fake sun, which that is speaking to the targeting conduct by law enforcement who are engaging in what is surveillance, while they are just using a demon, a third party, who is sitting in directed light. All right. The demons of the Ontario Police Department are creating light activity in the same way that you see the demons of Omnitrans. What's the difference? Omnitrans bears a logo. And the other difference is this is the state acting directly, the Ontario Police Department. The same demonic activity, though. The same impossible placement of a light source over me, following me to this venue, remaining, all right, and then as I leave, remaining over me. That is how you are understanding what is targeting, not the conduct of demons and psychopaths who are indeed surveilling you. You are under what is surveillance by the entity. That's why directed light is there. That's why the fake sun is there. That's why it's over me. It's not over everyone else. While they drove away, where's the fake sun? It's not remaining in their window, hovering over their vehicle while they are driving east on Hope Boulevard. It's remaining right here, stationary over the B&G Plaza. In direct conflict with that being the sun, as it's documented already at 111 North Vineyard Avenue, which is only one example. That's only one example. Okay, because as I remain at 630 North Fern, the fake sun is not in the direction that I'm facing, capturing these demons of the Ontario Police Department while it's over the S.I.I.S Liquor building at the B&G Plaza upon my arrival, because it's documented remaining, as I spoke to, just to remind you, what is the impossible placement of what would be behind me in an entirely different position than Starbucks. It's also documented remaining after 10:37 a.m., but even later than that, January 1st, 2022, you're talking about 4:27 in the evening. The state is keeping a fake sun in perfect alignment, filling the inside of that vehicle with what's supposed to be sunlight, which is absolutely ridiculously impossible. You are literally seeing in that documentation and what I continue to document. But that particular impossibility, that is Satan. That's demonic. You are witnessing demonic activity. That's what it looks like. That's what it is appearing as. All right, like I said, and all I'm doing is documenting it and showing it to you. You have what is the placement of the fake sun over me while the Ontario police are creating light activity, while they are present in relevant position, while they are uttering what is criminally defamatory speech, while they're monitoring me and I'm documenting that. All right, that's Mr. Escobar. All right, who's standing in direct light, engaging in facilitation of a criminal conduct, which is a threat to your life, not only because those demons are with law enforcement, but because those demons are engaging in what is a conduct on behalf of a government, an entity that is monitoring altogether, and because they're all demons. All of this is relevant to what is terrorism. All right, and so you have what is the state's fake sun that is documented while it's here at 8:23 in the morning. What about that light source that's remaining over me, as I've captured on video on more than one occasion? But let's just cite, I don't know, how about January 23rd, when I didn't even come to the B&G Plaza? I remained at 630 North Fern. 10:35 a.m., I'm showing you the fake sun. 10:37, the moment that we begin moving, I also show you the fake sun, because I want you to see that light source that remains stationary and doesn't move until I move. And then we did not go toward B&G Plaza. We went to what is the Ontario Plaza on Mountain Avenue. Remember that? Didn't come down toward this direction, passing by the Ontario Village until after 1 p.m. All right, and then went to the Ovid Family Community Library after 1 p.m. Okay, which is no presence of any light source, which is supposedly the sun that's present over that library at 9:51, 9:55 in the morning, as I've already documented. Okay, now that's just dealing with what are that pink face coward name, going by what is the name of Sean Thrasher, all right, who is not intellectually equipped to address a common sense question. That's why he writes up lies on paper while he's monitoring and just calls in the police, all right, and then runs away. All right, so that's why I captured what is the demonic light activity inside of that venue. But let me be clear. This is what I captured on video right now. You are looking at the same hallmarks as directed light, while they are doing nothing other than monitoring together with the demon that's sitting on the sidewalk. That's a third party. Directed light, where that third party is sitting. Impossible light activity, and it's not even the sun that they are sitting under. This is demonic activity. It is the criminal system of what is surveillance with communication devices, by the way. It is also the communication of a threat, while that entity, all of them demon-possessed, are monitoring the documentation. Okay? Everywhere that I'm going is public. Everywhere it's public information, including as I go to the bathroom, okay? Including when I'm inside of any private space. This is what surveillance is. All right. And so I want to be clear. That's what I documented. And not only that, you see the minions that are crossing path in direct light. All of that is impossible light activity. Now, first of all, it's not sunlight that's ever going to occur when you're driving under what's supposedly the sun. Second of all, the fake sun is not even, as of record, going to be placed over the S.I.I.S liquor. So in every way, you're talking about what is surrounding you with the evidence of your demon possession and your criminal activity. The light source that's over 630 North Fern, there's no light that's going to be appearing in the shade while you're driving under where the light source is over 630 North Fern. Let alone when you drive under the light source, which even if it was on schedule, remaining at 630 North Fern, there's no light that's bouncing off of your car appearing in the shade. That's the pattern of conduct of a demon stalking with light. Those demons are stalking with light with the demons of the Ontario Police Department. They're monitoring together, engaging in terrorism together. That's what I captured on video. Currently 8:39 a.m. And they're monitoring with the demons lined up outside of Clinica Medica, California. All right? Is that the right name? Clinica Medica, California, inside of the B&G Plaza. All right? You just have the only difference is you have the demons of the Ontario Police Department who are always monitoring, always stalking, engaging in what is openly present. All right, as opposed to just pacing back and forth on Whole Boulevard. Oh, they came and participated, created the light activity right there under the fake sun, monitoring with the demons lined up outside of the Clinica Medica, California, and the demons that are loitering in the parking lot in relevant position, listening to me prosecute them, including this third party with license plate 5VVP461. So anyway, that's what I captured on video. It's currently 8:39 a.m., 7AAY437. And again, Tracy Banks remaining in relevant position to monitor me with the Ontario Police. 8BJH903, 8BLA490, 5NKW193, 6ZUP531, 5MXF249, 6VNH589, 7K55341, 6SEP489, 2VCC162, 61133T1, 614343A3, 8DXM500, 8WAH819 is the minion that I'm capturing on video while she is appearing and turning into the driveway. Directed light, just like this demon, 8TSN589. All right, and doing so with the Ontario Police, it's revealing what is demonic conduct. It's impossible light activity. It's the signature of a stalker. You're talking about what is Satan that is in its element. And then Satan that's in its element is then going to be dissected by what are the statuses. And that is the minions holding positions in the army of Satan itself. All right, those demons in law enforcement are to be removed from that position. Those demons that are in law enforcement, 7KGN575, in law enforcement that want to get you, they're going to federal prison. You want to arrive pursuant to criminal summoning and threaten somebody's liberty, you're going to federal prison. All right, you're 5UES817. All of this is intended to deter documentation, and it's not. You're talking about what's going to inform federal policy. All right, it is absolutely unacceptable, and it's to be tolerated in no way whatsoever, not even a little bit, where the government wants to obstruct justice, where it is threatening the lives of American citizens and placing them under surveillance. All right, you have the idiots of the Ontario Police Department continuously. I mean, and that's what Satan is. Let me be clear. Satan can't help but be a treacherous, inferior minion. All right, using what are the people of the state and using whatever vessels that it has. But let me be clear, it doesn't change because they're dressed up in a law enforcement uniform, engaging in what is the exercise of fictitious authority. That's what I documented on podcast and on video yesterday. All right, and while that pink-faced coward going by Sean Thrasher throws down a piece of paper, doesn't want to answer no question, and runs away, that's why I captured that video of that directed light. You see those demons standing around me, engaging in what is harassment, because I'm prosecuting. That fat black demon is monitoring with law enforcement. This is not Black Lives Matter. All right, while she is engaging in and documented as engaging in what is concentrating on my bathroom usage. When I'm present in the bathroom, and then putting in writing, which is libel, while the pattern of conduct is underway, this is criminal defamation while you're waging false allegations, and you are engaging in what is sexually violent surveillance with the government, I'm going to prosecute her for that. And you see her on video. She's identified with the company of Securitas. She's going to federal prison. License 5ULJ248. And that ongoing evidence of what is her going to federal prison while she's monitoring with law enforcement, that's why you see her the light activity that she's standing in while she's literally on camera engaging in the surveillance. Relevant positioning, light activity while she's moving around in that engineered light. That engineered light is a demonic environment speaking to what is her condition. This is a demon that's waging false allegations. That is currently, as you are looking at her, engaging in what is monitoring with communication devices. It's pursuant to what is an environment that is maintained. Pursuant to what is monitoring with communication devices. This is what is so instrumental with regard to that light, that peculiar light. That peculiar light is also revealing your condition. Because that peculiar light, it's not just peculiar, it's demonic. All right, 5DGV709. The demon possessed are engaging in what is interstate stalking. All right, stalking with communication devices, following around. That's what these demons are doing. All right. So anyway, it's 8:43. Let me be clear. The entirety of the B&G Plaza is engaging in monitoring and harassment and terrorism with law enforcement while they visibly want to arrive and engage in the P.O.C. All right. They're always engaged in the P.O.C. stalking in relevant position. All right. I just want to make sure I clarify that. It's not different because they did so openly. While I'm standing on the sidewalk and you have Escobar trying to engage in limiting my freedom of speech. Well, first of all, they're engaging in criminal conduct. But second of all, I'm standing on the sidewalk and I'm free to talk. I'm free to use my phone. I'm free to talk about what actually on the surface has nothing to do with them. All right. I'm talking about the sun. I'm talking about what's down the street at Vineyard. All right. And you're just standing around on the curb. But I just want to be clear. This is one that is hostile to documentation. And it's also audible activity creation while they're in direct light under the fake sun. I just want to point that out. All right. But what I'm doing has nothing to do with what they are consumed with. And all they're doing is standing around. They're demons that are sitting on the car. The third party is just sitting on the curb. Escobar is just standing in relevant position, standing behind him. All right. And the other cop is just standing in front of the door, moving the door back and forth, which is directed light that's moving around. All right, and they have their police lights on. They're literally not doing anything. They stand around. They're monitoring. That's it. Okay? And you are talking about what is then engaging in, while I'm standing on the sidewalk, 8XUY900 is touching. While I'm standing on the sidewalk, showing what is footage of what is the sun as far as he's concerned, and not engaged in or involved in what he has going on, which is literally nothing. You can see it in the video as well, though. But let me be clear, that is the pattern of conduct. That's harassment. But like I said, saying anything to the target individual where you're documenting, that's a terrorizing threat, whether UPS is doing it, all right, or whether some government actor, which is what the Ontario Police Department engage in. All right, you're literally talking about what is riding on the tail wings of what is that prosecution and that creation of legislation to deal with demons in law enforcement uniforms. 6TCY461 8E35000. So anyway, it's 8:45 a.m. 8PUV821 8ZNY587 7VOS809 6RXY460 8P12439 8ATY395 8MAF571. Two 83948 8TDA 904 8TXL 626. Five XBN 385. Frontier Express Incorporated, says Phoenix, Arizona. That's a large white truck. They directed light all across what is Ontario Town Square townhomes, impossible light activity. That's the mark of a demon. And criminal surveillance is underway. That's why that's occurring. 8UWE274 7ZKT182 14682G3 6M71631 5X HG AGQW888 is the back license plate. They got two different license plates on their car. 5XBN385 and 8JUV624 in the parking. I'm sorry, in the drive-through of Andy's Burgers, which is a means of stalking in the path. License plate 8TGV710 3VWG 178. Eight MBU 106 78887B2 07783A2 28584A3 8 UJV 147 Meeting at the intersection, stalking, license 6ALN 842. DS 840, that's a handicap. And this is CA91F04, that's paper. It is 8:47 a.m. Eight DML 961 67698 W2. 8 EPZ 449 7B IU 942 City of Ontario, crossing path. Go ahead. Oh, 7GWH 250. 6WHE 399. It's 8:49 a.m. 7 SYR 006, 5CDF 935, 98354U2, 8KNY 998, 8KNW 023, 6MTX 425, 8TJL 399, JMR 419, that's Iowa. This is Metro 102 in Ontario Town Square Townhomes as I walk north up Plum Avenue at 8:49 a.m. and the state amplifies that audible activity while my shadow appears to the left and to the right of me. Just like I showed you on Euclid Avenue in the afternoon. Inexplicable light, my shadows to both sides of me, impossible light activity. That's not only demonic, that's how you're witnessing demonic activity. You're not going to have witches on broomsticks flying around. That is not what demonic activity actually looks like. They're not going to be walking around with their heads ripped off of their shoulders. Right? You're talking about what is demonic activity. That's what I'm showing you. That light activity, that is speaking to your condition. All right? The condition of those who are surrounding. Alrighty, capturing video of what is the state's fake sun at hours earlier than when I typically depart from B&G Plaza to go to the Ovid Family Community Library. But let me be clear, that is just as of late. I have already documented, for example, in 2021, being at the Ovid Family Community Library, and this is what I mean by the ongoing documentation that already exists. All right, so you're talking about what is my presence early in the morning already being present at the side of the Ovid Family Community Library, and the presence of the fake sun that is Satan itself that's hovering over me, showing what is the focus of everyone else who are also demon possessed. All right, 8XBR835 included. She's the bum that she has written on the back of her car, stalking somebody in a parking lot, and a demon possessed one. So like I said, you have what is my presence that's already on the side, that where I'm documented present already on the side. So in other words, as opposed to as of late where I remain at the B&G Plaza and then I go to the library, you know, around the time it opens, or after the time it closes, or after I make a venture to Pomona and then come back, you have what is my presence at the Ovid Family Community Library much earlier, as I would engage in frequently in 2021. And that's what I mean with regard to what is the ongoing documentation, because I'm not going to be able to capture that over the B&G Plaza remaining over me, or let alone over me on the bus, street for street, turn for turn, when it's remaining over me at the side of the Ovid Family Community Library, much earlier than 9:51 and 9:55, after it's following me to that venue much later in the day, coming from wherever it is that I'm coming from, which was chiefly the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. All right, so like I said, it's 8:55. I'm just reminding about documentation that I've already published. And that, again, is the ongoing revealing what is stalking with a fake sun. It is over me on Plum Avenue. Understand, as I walked here yesterday at a later time, the fake sun is taking that same route, and that's because I took Plum. If I would have went up Lemon, the state's fake sun been right over me on the opposite side of the Metro 102 apartments. All right, right over me as I'm walking at that earlier hour. It has nothing to do with what is the actual movement, which is consistent and reliable. It is what would be that which you can rely on at a specific time, just like you do, which is what's supposedly to be when they're telling you on the news, oh, the sunrise and the sunset at this particular time, with regard to the movement, if this was the actual sun, all right, and that's the analysis that you're going to hold it to, because you're talking about what is not the sun, and it has nothing to do with that, and that's why 2 hours earlier, leaving from the B&G Plaza at 8:50 a.m., the state's fake sun is over me on Plum Avenue. 8:50 a.m., not only am I on public transportation going both eastbound and westbound, Fontana Metrolink train station and Pomona Regional Transit Station, but also you are talking about what is my stationary presence at the B&G Plaza. Okay, so remember when I'm inside of the Andy's Burgers and I'm showing you what is this, all of this impossible light, that Star Trek like light activity inside of that venue. All right, where the state's fake sun is outside, cozy over the Center Ice Arena transit area. It's right there diagonal to me. It's not over the Shiro's Liquor part of the B&G Plaza. Where I am walking up walking up Plum, that is a position where I'm documenting that at 8:51 a.m., 8:52 when I'm inside of the Andy's Burgers and I'm showing you all this impossible light activity. This is demonic. That's how you're understanding demonic activity, and that's what that is. That's what it looks like, all right? Not somebody walking around with their head in their hands, okay? Looking like the living dead. No, the living dead are walking around with dead spirits in them. That's what the living dead look like. The living dead are identified by the demonic environment that they are in. That's what the living dead look like. They're not walking around holding their head in their hands like the zombies you see in scary movies. The living dead are looking as though they are alive. They are walking around with dead spirits in them, engaging in demonic conduct, demented conduct, the conduct of the dead, if you will. Okay, so you're talking about what is engaging in that demonic activity. That's what directed light and what is a fake sun is all about. Okay, and this is where I'm on Plum, the state's fake sun, while I am showing you what is directly above me, the enlarged shadow that is upright at a distance, heightened on the wall of the Metro 102. Understand that's entirely demonic. It's entirely impossible. When I'm using that term impossible, it is synonymous with what is demonic, because that's what this is about. The impossible placement of what is not possible. That is speaking to what is demonic. It is more than demonic. That is Satan itself. That's what Satan is. Satan is a spirit. You're not going to see something hovering, levitating in the sky. It's just not going to happen like that. That's not what demonic activity is. And you have been shown that. You've been, that's been the caricature in one's mind with regard to witnessing what is of Satan and what is, no, it's not some cartoon, and it's every day in your life. You're witnessing it. Demons smiling in your face. Okay. Demons holding your hands like they're your closest friend. Okay, and that's where Satan wants to be, as close and cozy to you as possible. But I want to be clear, this video that I'm capturing at 8:51, 8:52 a.m., not only am I on transportation at the same time, which is not possibly the sun, that doesn't coexist, and you're talking about going on the bus, already en route, going to Fontana Metrolink train station, on the bus, en route, going in the opposite direction at the same time, and you are looking at both of those both of those content. I have this documentation already. It's published. This content is showing what is the maintenance of the central presence over my head on these modes of transportation, which is Omnitrans. Not only is that impossible, you're talking about what is as I stay stationary, for example, at the Starbucks, where I remain, okay? January 22nd, 2022, I remain at the Starbucks. And yet, while I walk north at the moment, that's the ongoing signature of what is stalking. The light source and what the entity is doing with a fake sun is speaking to what is contrary to what is the actual definition and the understanding that we have of the sun as we know it. All right, this is in other words what Satan wants to have, would have us believe, but the conduct that I'm documenting is actually contrary to what it is that we've been taught about the sun. All right, because it's not even in conformity with what is the sun as we have been told about it. All right, and intentionally misled. Okay, so that you are ignorant about the presence of Satan itself. Okay, so like I said, you have the actual sun as we know it, and that's what I'm referencing. The actual sun as we know it, the fables that we have been told is based on what is not the ubiquitous presence, not possibly maintaining ubiquitous presence of some light source that's supposedly the sun. And that's why we have what is an alternate between day and night. This is why we have different seasons, and this is why we have what we adjust our times and whatnot. And this is how we have what are supposedly meteorologists telling us about when they project the sun's going to rise and set. You're talking about what is all of this is antithetical to what the sun as we know it. And so all I'm doing is using that common sense analysis and showing you what is not possibly the sun, because you're dealing with a bunch of demons. Satan is a liar. So you're talking about what are third parties that are in any way that they can going to try to dismiss that. You can't dismiss it. You can dismiss it if you want to. All right. But you're talking about someone who is woefully, you're unprepared. You can't address it. You can't address why you have two shadows, why my shadow is enlarged upright on a wall in front of me. You can't address that. You can't address that. So what do you retort to? Do you need to take medication? I'm going to prosecute Escobar for that. He's a demon. That's Satan with the fake sun over his head. Do you recall who was engaging in that? Yes, that was Tracy Banks yesterday. Okay. So like I said, you have what is the state's light source over me on Plum Avenue, not remaining, contrary to not just the Starbucks, not just being on public transportation, going in opposite directions at the same time, but also remaining at the B&G Plaza. Even inside of what is Andy's Burgers, showing you that demonic light activity, okay? You have what is maintenance at the B&G Plaza while I'm facing south, while at 8:51 a.m., while I'm inside of on Andy's Burgers, the fake sun is nearest the corner that is diagonal to transit. The fake sun is south. I am facing center ice. It is nowhere over the Ontario Town Square townhomes. It is not, again, over my head, while at the same time I'm facing south, and it's also at the same time over my head behind me over Ontario Town Square townhomes. No, you know that that is not possible. It's ridiculous. This is not what's going on. You are looking at what is stalking with a light source that is not possibly the sun, i.e., this is demonic. You are witnessing the supernatural while that impossibility is actually occurring. How do you have a light source remaining over one? This is Satan itself. Satan is a spirit. All right? Understand this, and this is occurring with the people who are around and in the environment. That's how you have that. It is currently 9:02 a.m. Alrighty, showing you the video of what is my arrival leaving from B&G Plaza, showing you the demons of the Ontario Police Department, while the state's fake sun at 8:23 is present. Not only am I showing and pointing out, first of all, how about all the days where I'm nowhere near the B&G Plaza and this, okay, so this is the fake sun that's over my head while the Ontario Police are present. But not only that, I remain, as I've shown you, and this is also speaking to the demons that I just documented with the Ontario Police Department, abrupt departure from the documented conduct of remaining over the B&G Plaza for as long as I remain, but in conformity to the pattern of moving at the moment that I move. The state's fake sun as I go to the Ovid Family Community Library at 9 in the morning. All right, and present in the same position it is, and also in the same parking lot that it is at 4 p.m. 2839481, a demon pacing. 8JVG004, a demon pacing. All right, and you are looking at what is the state's fake sun that is moving as I move. You're looking at what is directed light that is on the ground. And how do you know that this is directed light? Because first of all, the actual sun is not hovering adjacent to buildings. The actual sun is supposed to be a gaseous ball of fire that would otherwise set that on fire if that was actually the sun that's hovering. And necessarily so for me to see it through what is reflecting the windows on the building of the Ovid Family Community Library. And I suppose that's supposed to be the form for what is the appearance of this blue tinted light, which is again engaging in that laser-like reflectory conduct of what is light that's appearing. But what about when the state's fake sun is the object itself remains over me when I'm in the city of Pomona? All right, that is an ongoing method of what is stalking with light on the surfaces as opposed to any reflection of sunlight, which is common sense. Because while also I remain at the B&G Plaza, you're talking about what is directed light that is present as a method, an ongoing consistent method of stalking with light on surfaces and no conduct of what is any reflection of sunlight. All right, this is all common sense. All right, so like I said, you're looking at that in that video that I captured, and it is currently 9:08 a.m. And this is following capturing the demons of the Ontario Police Department. The same demons, and let me be clear, it is a demonic entity. All right, and so you are talking about, you are dealing with the same demonic entity, and that demonic entity operating through a group of people. All right, so we in the natural, and I'm talking about we by normal people, not the demon possessed. Those are not normal people. You're talking about those whom are consumed with the spirit of Satan. They are of one mind. So you're talking about a demon, for example, that is nowhere physically present, such as Tracy Banks. She knows exactly what's going on when she's not physically around. That's why she's citing things such as the Fontana Lewis Library. Even though her facts aren't right, she's still speaking to and professing, admitting knowledge when nobody's talked to her about it. I did not talk to her about it. Did Sarah Bartlett? No, Sarah Bartlett didn't have to call her. Sarah Bartlett and Tracy Banks are of one entity, both of them demon possessed, engaging in surveillance on behalf of a government that's also speaking to what is that ongoing mutual knowledge. But I just want to educate with regard to what is the entity that is acting as one, and contrary to what it is that we understand. This is how I operate, because I'm a normal person and I'm not of that spirit. You're talking about what is the demonic entity, the demon possessed, Satan itself. While it is present and acting pursuant to what is, I would say, acting pursuant to what is at the same time simultaneously using more than one person. That's what demon possession is. AGNZ131. Simultaneously using more than one person, and using one person to engage in what is literally terrorism. All right. And so you're talking about on the surface. So I want to separate what you're looking at and what we automatically assume, and actually what is the constitutional basis for the operation of our criminal justice system, which is necessary. That's fine. All right. The pattern of conduct as you documented, that it's not impervious to being prosecuted. Or you're talking about what is objective conduct that the entity engages in, you document it, and you're prosecuting a government that is acting through a people. But nonetheless, so like I said, I want to get back to the what you are looking at on the surface, as though you are looking at different people who are separate, disconnected, going about what are ostensibly separate, having nothing to do with the other, everybody going about their business. And actually you're looking at what are the demon possessed who are acting as one. And they are of one demonic mindset as well. All right. And so you have what is Satan that is using one after another, and not one after another consecutively, one after another at the same time. That's what demonic activity is. And they are not ignorant about what you are saying to a demon around the corner. You're talking about what is you are dealing with the same entity, the same spirit over and over again in a different person. All right. So I just want to break that down a little bit for you. But nonetheless, anyway, that's with regard to what the entity is engaging in. And I want to document 1545805. This is Omnitrans, while other third parties are patrolling and touching with directed light, which is in the shade. It's currently 9:11 a.m. All right, I do want to make sure I document it's the same pattern of conduct, but I just want to be clear. While I'm sitting in the shade, you have what are demons that are crossing paths, and this ongoing flash photography like light activity while they were driving by in the shade. And this is the same bus stop that I arrived at after 2 p.m. yesterday after leaving what is Mercy House. Demons such as 8YPP139, where that light activity is never going to occur. They're one entity and it's not separate. They're monitoring together. 53204J2. Where impossible light activity is occurring with one, you have what is a system that is underway. You have what is never occurring under any circumstances that is demonstrating the ability to engage in and refrain from that impossible light, which is terrorism, it is molestation, and it is speaking to what is a demon that is crossing path, engaging in what is interstate stalking, by the way. So those are third parties that are engaging and driving on the same street in the same shade, while the entity is repeatedly engaging in flash photography, and I'm using that in air quotes because this is the light activity that's occurring while they are crossing path. License 6JJA780, 5VKK456, 7GQN036, 8YCD352, 7LYR 314, 8FAC942, 29574L1, the Ontario Fire Department, 1420228, 8HYC 779, I believe. I'm laughing because you already know about those demons, and they're documenting themselves. Anyway, it's 9:17 a.m. All right, showing you what is the fake sun. That's over the same intersection that I captured it not only at around 8:14, 8:16 in the morning yesterday, but after 2 p.m. as I arrived at this same bus stop. It's over the same street, over the same intersection where I'm showing you the demons of the Ontario Police Department. 6HDG242 that are engaging and are being captured while they engage in what is obsessive stalking activity, which is speaking to what is interstate stalking. 1959, that's the license plate, which is speaking to identifying a specific year is what it appears as, but that's an old car, old fat white man, a demon-possessed stalker monitoring with the Ontario Fire Department who are driving in the opposite direction. And that's why I was laughing earlier. The Ontario Fire Department are demons the same, directed light appearing in the shade just like the rest of the third parties, and showing you what is that fake sun that is indeed remaining over me, the same intersection where, by the way, yesterday at 8:19 in the morning, I believe it's around this time, where I'm at the same intersection of Holt and Euclid, the state's fake sun is moving in motion, arriving and remaining over the B&G Plaza. Light 8MMT229, excuse me. 7UIU288. The state's fake sun is nowhere at any time while I'm at the B&G Plaza migrating west whatsoever remains over me at the B&G Plaza until the moment that I walk to the Ovid Family Community Library, which I document on video for you to see, which is the ongoing pattern of stalking with light. And there is no time where yesterday where I am remaining at the B&G Plaza at this time, and then I walk toward the Ovid Family Community Library and show you what is the state's fake sun over me in the parking lot of the City Hall, where those demons were engaging in surveillance for purposes of crossing path, maintaining presence all around me as I am in motion on foot, and the state is keeping its fake sun, that is Satan itself. While its minions surround on the ground, Satan itself is hovering over me and what is supposed to be the form as the sun. This is not the sun. This is revealing what is demonic activity. 9:22 a.m. the state's fake sun over the intersection of Hull and Euclid is in direct opposition to that. That is speaking to what 8LQJ220, 8CIB401, 7FJJ569, 5LHU 912, 8WSU 254, 8AAZ 728, 142 MPM Oregon, 8 UAV 880, 8 GPK 755, 8 RUL 526, 7 AET 010, 7 URT 995. All of them are doing. All of them are demons. 5 YUF 112. Every single last one of them, and that's also why you have the demonic conduct of directed light while they are crossing path. All right? They're stalking. All right, and that is what Satan and its minions are consumed with. That's why also a fake sun, that which is not actually the sun, not possibly the sun, all right, is remaining over me while I'm at this bus stop. The same bus stop where I was at after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, minions fill this bus. Kapusta Hockey Academy, 62280M2. All of them are minions monitoring together. All right, and you have what is a minion using a skateboard and engaging in surveillance, standing at the bus stop. All right, this is the pattern of conduct. It's currently 9:25 a.m. Eight MPU 867, 7 UKY 541. City of Ontario also molesting, crossing path while those demons are driving by and flashing light. This demon is driving next to a white truck where large amounts of directed light is on the truck. 8GYB 973 or 793, excuse me. Yeah, they're demons. License 6JJX 665. You also know they're demons while directed light is on the street and they're driving by. You also know that they are stalking while directed light is in the street and they're driving by. Okay? Like I said, it's 9:26 a.m. And that's exactly what the Ontario police are doing here. Let me get this. All right, you see OPD? Stalking, C463S1, 6FQY306. License, 6WXL317, 7R37911, 8MUV755, 8RVT000, 7EHY743, 8ASH606, 8UQN046, 1451828. That's the minion stalking at transit. License, that's vehicle 1829 OPD with directed light. 3J37709, 5RBY331, 21237C2, 7ZHS357, 8KKD829. All of them demons. Alrighty, you keep a demon stationary using a means of audible activity and engineered light, and the Ontario police in that vehicle, again, the same exact conduct with what is touching and terrorism with directed light, the mark of demon possession. You're understanding how this is speaking to that legislation. This is already terrorism that's underway. So while you are of that position of law enforcement, inherently terrorizing to engage in federal stalking, all right, that's Title 18, 2261A verbiage. You are talking about what is beyond that, though. These are the demon possessed. They are demonstrating that demon possession in that demonic environment, engaging in that molestation and stalking with directed light. This is a whole other level which legislation has never contemplated, as demonic activity is made manifest while the demon possessed are engaging in criminal conduct, including the demon possessed law enforcement agencies. 7XRG635, 7BVR873. And that's exactly what that Ontario Police Department just did. 8LLB932, 8HXG012, 7Z89363. That's what they continue to do. I just want to be clear. And you have what is driving by, directed light, touching with direct light, just like every other third-party demon. This is what I'm speaking to with regard to demonic activity. There's no exception. There's no difference. And you also see this in the video. They're sitting around in directed light. The fake sun is over. It's not taking some pause because they're law enforcement. No, this is facilitation by law enforcement. 7NLZ 939, 8KXD 419, 7BXS 293, 7KWZ 293, I believe. 4PRF 371, 8ARV 988, 8NRZ 832, 6CWG 861, 7635. Can't see the rest of one. 4PU5 905 is a trailer. 7635 681 is that license plate I couldn't see. Alrighty, 6G71476. All right, and you've already seen what is the placement of, and this third party who I capture stalking with audible activity using a skateboard is present in relevant position. This is maintenance in the path. All right, this is what the people do, engage in surveillance while that environment is present. Not only is the fake sun over the same intersection it was over yesterday after 2 p.m. 7GGL 806. 7VGY 380. The entity is crossing path in the shade where concentrated directed light is flashing, moving, and touching. And that is not with any exception to the Ontario Police Department. So, okay, so I showed you what is stalking in the path while they are sitting at the intersection of Transit and Holt. That's stalking in the path. That's called being in alignment. While, by the way, the minions are driving by me and directed light is coexisting and the fake sun is over me. That's the P.O.C. That's what Ontario Police. Then you have that Ontario police officer who also knows that they're being documented. This is the demon, and this is also one engaging in the criminal system of surveillance. Knows that they are being documented. Then crosses path and touches with directed light. Okay? So like I said, that is the prosecution of what is the conduct of a sex offender as well. All of that is relevant. So this is why you are documenting that as well. 7MJK092. And it is occurring under what is indeed the fake sun, that the actual sun is not remaining at all times of the day, morning and afternoon, over the same intersection, 8UIT435. All right, and it just so happens to be over those intersections while I'm at that intersection. It's never over that intersection while I am, for example, at the BNG Plaza showing you at a distance. No. It's remaining over me in real time while at that intersection. Okay, and that's also in conflict with nature. That's documentation of what is revealing the ongoing maintenance of what is supposed to be the sun, which is not the sun. Okay, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then what happens after 2 o'clock when I get on the bus? When Omnitrans finally decides to arrive via Route 83, it remains in alignment with me going north up into the city of Upland. 8GBL116, 8WCT167, 5NPU522, 7ZZD 824, 7UJB929, 6WHV647, 8PBU642, 7ARP570, 5G72751, 7WBW486, 4UWP167, 8XMD799, and that is what is demonic activity. It's 9:32 a.m. Okay, driving in the farthest lane over, 8HVK975. And why do they do that? To get as close as possible while they're crossing path, and they're driving in directed light. License 5FGD017, 73018Z2. All right, the same directed light that I showed you at the same street. All right, and I'm showing you what is my shadows that are appearing on both sides. It's directed light in the street. ESQUIME or ESQUUME. It's currently 9:33 a.m. Let me get this license plate. 6H49172 directed light. 6JQZ282. 7WRJ721. And Omnitrans 1545838. Bus number 2359. At 9:34 a.m. License 7JOK446. Stalking while the state's keeping the fake sun over me. 17828V1. 7CJB273. 8WSU254. State's fake sun advancing north past American Inn. Remember, on December 31st, 2021, it remains over me, aiming into the window of that hotel room. It remains over me until after 11 a.m. 8XMD799, which I show on video while I go next door to what is the Bank of America and document the minions stalking in the path while the fake sun remained over me there. Okay, all of this is that ongoing documentation that is already published. All right, on that day, did not walk north up Euclid Avenue, walk south and remain until after 12 p.m. 7JOK446, directed light in the shade. This is a stalker and this is a demon. All right, this is the ongoing pattern of conduct. License 5NDS000. It is, by the way, 9:38 a.m. So when I also want to point out, when I'm documenting the fake sun, it's on what is the passenger side of the bus. There is no difference, and it is equally impossible that that would be the sun, not, let alone as I'm reminding you about the time and where I am at this time, when I do not get anywhere near on Euclid Avenue at this time, and I remain at the B&G Plaza, and I'm showing you what is the light source as I'm facing south in my face, 7YGC827. It is not at the same time behind me, over my head, behind me, and 8MUH641. And present behind me, which is what is naturally occurring, what is obviously and necessarily occurring, 8NXF955, while I'm on the bus, and showing you what is the light source moving in real time as I'm moving on the bus. 5DTH050, 7VCJ940, 7ZPT500, 7LVN338. And that noise that you heard, that is occurring as my finger touched my phone. All right, and those are demons that are stalking with activity. So I just want to point out everything that you hear, everything that's ongoing. 8EBR213 is serving monitoring, and it's also the conduct of demons. 15242L2. Demons engaging in what is that identical behavioral pattern of stalking with simultaneity to whatever it is I do physically, and on a phone on the internet. License plate 8GFP144 6RFK273. And so again, what I'm showing as I'm on Route 83 yesterday, which is after 3 p.m. going northbound, 8JMM423, M*DNCR, 8PQS891, 8BVK413, 7BFT861. These minions that are monitoring and listening to me document, they want to cross the path in order to try to distract from what I'm telling you. It's not. The state's fake sun is on the opposite side of the bus, going north on the same street. That's documentation of what is not possibly the sun. 7MPA135. That's also how you're understanding that. 57136G1? 57136G1, yeah. 8HEX407. Also the fact, again, common sense, as I am already en route to for example, Pomona Transit Center, and I remain there in Ontario. And I'm showing the Pomona Police Department documenting, and I'm referencing what is January 27, 2022. While I am there, the light source that is supposedly the sun, this is not the sun. It is not at the same time remaining in Ontario, remaining over me as I'm going northbound up Euclid Avenue. And this is what I mean. This is just blatant stalking with the light source. It's not ubiquitous presence, which the actual sun is not maintaining any ubiquitous presence. The actual sun is maintaining movement at all times. And you're also looking at that real-time movement while I document it. But you also have what is then another vantage point of understanding the same point. the light source is not remaining over Euclid Avenue precisely in alignment with me while remaining stationary over me in the city of Pomona.
Stop requested.
It's not. 6LNF004. That's the fake sun. That is Satan itself stalking with light. 6BMX827. And you literally have what is being on the passenger side versus being on the driver's side of the bus going up the same street. 4GGL184. Going north up the same street. 8YCE655. 6KJJ274. That is not the sun. See, I read all of those. Yeah. And then as you are advancing north, at what point are you capable of being present over the Ovid Family Community Library at 951? Like is the case when I'm there, sitting in front, facing the McCarthy construction site. All right. Let alone as I remain at the Starbucks at 111 North Vineyard Avenue. What about that day? All right. So this has nothing to do. This is not the sun. It's not possibly the sun. And you also know this 97068Z2, I believe, 5SWE 762 8YJZ 567. 7CFJ414, 6UBU597. All of them are demons. This is why directed light, because that's what that is. It's not sunlight. It's not normal light. It's the mark of demon possession, while Satan is hovering in the sky space over me under the guise of what's supposed to be the sun. And so I'm revealing that to you. I'm revealing the presence of Satan. I'm revealing the presence of Satan to the people of the state who are stalking in the path. They're engaged in surveillance. They are stalking while they are crossing path with this light. All right, I'm showing you the presence of Satan, and I'm speaking to what are the elements of monitoring. All right, in violation of Title 18. All right, this is understanding what is the presence of Satan, and that is what is the living dead. All right, they're not walking around carrying their heads that is ripped off of their shoulders. They are engaging in conduct with what is impossible light activity. They are in a demonic environment under that which is not the sun. It is the presence of Satan itself, which is the spirit, present through what are objects around, which you are assuming is something else, the sun. It's not. That's what this documentation is revealing, and it's directly relevant to wherever you are, because contrary to what we are told, there is only one sun. That's the sun as we understand it, right? 56244V1. Contrary to what we are told, there is necessarily more than one physical object that's supposed to be the light source while it's remaining over me in one city, engaged in all manner of conflict with nature, conflict with common sense, conflict with logic, and conflict with what is going to be the course of nature with regard to the actual light source. 8GFE777 identified as the sun as we know it. There's that, and then you also have what is literally just following and dragging the light source above me everywhere that I go, all right? Regardless of the fact that I remain at a specific address for a series of 2 hours, which is a matter of published documentation for a deliberate purpose, and then 48 hours later, as I deviate from that, go to a different city, and go in a different path, you have what is no possible way of that being the sun. That is the direct evidence, and that is speaking to the impossibility that is the demonic presence. KO83LO. Demonic presence, demonic activity. BT94W14, that's paper. 8JMP344, 7DXS428, 8PLM191. 4509031, I believe that's UPS, and that was Metrolink that you hear engaging in the P.O.C. 6XSV998. That was Metrolink at 9:44 a.m. It's 9:45 a.m. 8FSF4. I'm sorry, 8FSF545. Excuse me. 8PBF126, 7WRP178, 8PLM191, and it is 9:45 a.m. Alrighty, that's Omnitrans bus number 2359, license 1545838, driven by a Latino male, and getting off at what is 9th Street and Euclid Avenue. This is at 204 North Euclid Avenue. This is the 7-Eleven where I was documenting demonic activity, interstate stalking, and the fake sun is right here over me at what is 9:46 a.m. and common sense, this is not coexisting with the remaining of the light source over my head while I remain at B&G Plaza facing south, showing you what is the maintenance of that light source over me. 8BAF647, 7PPB106. As I deviate and go somewhere else, that's exactly what you saw as I went to Pomona. That's what the entity is doing with a fake sun. And that is revealing what is the demonic environment that not only myself but you are surrounded by, because that's not the actual sun over you. And it applies to you because why? There is only one sun. All right, and so it is currently, by the way, 9:47 a.m. License plate 6GHF 280. 8DB, I can't really see that one. 8DB 1992, I believe. 7FNG 907. 7KHR 724. 8XIL 685. 3BBY 337. 558 NKJ. And it's 9:51 a.m. As I captured on video, the United States Postal Service present under what is the fake sun at the gas station in Upland, California. This is a fat Latino male driving vehicle number 9205380 because the United States Postal Service vehicles do not bear license plates. License 82362E1, crossing path. The state's fake sun, again, 9:51 a.m. I'm showing you the state is keeping the fake sun over me as I pointed this out in the video. But I just want to be clear what your the totality of the documentation, what's documented on video and referencing and just reminding you while it is over my head in the city of Upland at the 7-Eleven, in conformity with what I documented, by the way, in September, October, and November, showing it has nothing to do with any time of year with regard to the sun as we know it. It is blatant following around with a light source, departing from what is this presence over in, for example, 7-Eleven or the Upland Public Library all day long, which is not the sun, but also the absence of that light source while I then return to what is going to the Ovid Family Community Library or the Fontana Lewis Library. That's not coexisting. There is no ubiquitous presence at the same time, all at those different locations, maintaining presence over me, central over my head, all at the same time. No, that is impossible, and that is also not the sun as we know it. It's impossible. That's why the sun is engaged in ongoing constant movement. That is the antithetical notion of ubiquitous presence, like the state is suggesting while stalking with the light source, all right, in every way. This is direct evidence of what is stalking with light. 7WRP178. Stalking with light is demonic. All right, this is Satan that's in the sky space, and at 9:49, which is you're talking about where I am already at the Ovid Family Community Library. Not only did I already go there this morning, 9 o'clock, showing you what it has nothing to do with some time of day. I could go to the Ovid Family Community Library 7 o'clock in the morning, and guess where the fake sun will be? In direct conflict with remaining all day long until after 10:38 in the morning as well, over 630 North Fern. Which if that was the actual sun, I wouldn't be able to capture it in that same position over the senior center and moving in real time as I'm walking at the Ovid. But nonetheless, like I said, in this video that I'm capturing at 9:48 a.m. To approximately 9:50 a.m., the state's fake sun is documented. It's remaining present over my head at the Ovid Family Community Library while I'm sitting at the construction site facing 7BXS561 crossing path, where I'm sitting at the Ovid Family Community Library and it's over the building. You see my camera's not facing the 280 North 11 apartments. It's right over the roof of the Ovid Family Community Library. And so this is, in Upland, and I'm looking at 7-Eleven, and the light source is right over me in Upland, and I'm showing you on video the light source is moving. That is not maintaining ubiquitous presence at the same time over two addresses, and by two addresses in two different cities while maintaining central presence over my head. And that's the significance of what I'm documenting. It is real-time movement. It is stalking, that is following with that light source. And again, Upland to Ontario is just one example. It's remaining stationary at the Ovid Family Community Library. That is not some ubiquitous presence. It's not while I'm facing south in that parking lot and also at the same time over my head, behind me, over the 280 North Lemon apartments in front of the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. This is just common sense. All right, you are looking at the light source that is moving as I move. That is called moving a light source. That is not possibly the sun. Well, it is, as a matter of fact, already documented of record and published, remaining stationary at a heavily documented venue, the B&G Plaza, okay? And remaining for a prolonged period, even after this time, okay? 10:50 a.m. is what I did a couple days ago, all right? And so you're talking about what is 9:50, 9:46, 9:49. This is where I'm at here, getting off the bus, Route 83, while directed light is beside that bus. If directed light is supposed to be the form for what sunlight, that's not occurring while the state's fake sun is remaining over me at the B&G Plaza and I'm facing south. And that light source is there while Omnitrans Route 61 is using that form of what's supposed to be the sun while they're stalking in the path and repeatedly molesting with what is not sunlight. That's never occurring under any circumstances anyway. Sunlight's not bouncing off of your car, sweeping onto buildings, underneath the hood of the gas stall like they are right now in Upland. 6731182 is monitoring, while directed light is appearing underneath the gas stalls of the 7-Eleven. Okay, these are demons. 5ZVS201, and that's video that I captured. United States Postal Service at gas stall number 11, standing next to the gas stall. This minion is an operation of a communication device, a demon wearing a USPS uniform, okay? Vehicle number 0213557. All right, this is a Latino male. He puts on his mask right now at 9:56 a.m., walking into the entrance. He's been studying his communication device, monitoring while that impossible light activity is shooting upward underneath the hood of the gas stalls. It's literally ridiculous. They are goofy-looking demons. All right, he's on surveillance camera, as all are the rest of them. Alrighty, it is currently, by the way, 9:57 a.m. Let me get the rest of these license plates because they're all monitoring together. That's why that direct light is present. That's why the fake sun is present. Okay, these demons start pulling off as I get 82362E1. They're just sitting there in the gas stalls, just sitting there. And that is again 9205380. That's the fat Latino male group stalking at a gas stall. 8SKY342. At gas stalls number 3 and gas stall number 1, pulling off at the same time. As I walk over, they were just sitting in their car listening to me document. And then I'm speaking to what is this impossible light activity. The moment that I walk over there, then they both pull off at the same time. This is the conduct of demons. All right. Anyway, it's 9:57 a.m. JXV 576 318-4272. Captured this demon's images 02135557. That's U.S.P.S. He's group stalking inside of the 7-Eleven, engaging in surveillance. And you're looking at what is a demon wearing a U.S.P.S. uniform, okay? And engaging in that conduct, stalking in the store, maintaining presence. Even on the surveillance cameras, you'll see him as he's moving around at the front of the store, moving to the sides of the store. He does so as I'm going back to the ice machine. He's maintaining presence. This is a demon that is tracking steps, all right? Maintaining presence in the path inside. I do capture his images while he's standing at the register, and I also reference the surveillance cameras. It's 10:01 a.m. That's P.O.C. That is the United States Postal Service. Those are demons engaging in what are monitoring American citizens. Demonic activity underway. The same exact hallmark. 8 P.O.K. 706. Six WIT 288, 7JYH 130, 7BHZ 561, 8BOY 992, 7DMX 837, 6MGD 341, 8T. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that one. 4677. I can't see that one. 8 CFR 678. Six AQJ 627, 7 HTX 843, 715 871, 6P3 6179, 5 SYM 243. Okay, so I want to document the sex offender. That is the state of California. That sex offender is engaging in sexual violence with the people of the state. And inside of this venue, that is fully documented with regard to my having already been subject to this P.O.C. at this particular venue, the Upland Public Library. Not only that, fully documented as I'm showing the light source engaging in what is
ongoing grand departure in every way. Not only am I coming to this venue in the morning versus yesterday when I came in the latter part of the day, after it's engaging in a departure from any position similar or capable of existing where you are acting as though the sun is setting in alignment with the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library, including a deviation as I'm going to Mercy House where the state's light source is directly over me in that parking lot. None of this is coexisting with remaining at the Ovid Family Community Library. None of that is coexisting. But nonetheless, as I come to the Upland Public Library in the morning, the state's light source is present, and the state's light source remains over my head. Packed bathroom with demons, okay? Packed to the brim. Demons with their demon-possessed children in the bathroom. Purposes for what is maintaining presence in the path and stalking in the path upon their patrolling in and out of that bathroom in the event that I capture video and stand in the middle of the library. That's what demons are doing. They are also present in the event that I go into the bathroom and are engaging in what is presence on behalf of a government, and this is the sex offender engaging in that federal stalking pattern of conduct inside of what is a private space. That is the sex offender also engaging in that sexually violent pattern of conduct with their demon-possessed children in tow. All right, I want to be clear. This is documented with regard to the presence of impossible light activity. You, first of all, know that this is not the sun as it's following as I arrive to this venue of Upland Public Library, and then it remains stationary for the duration of the day, as though the entity has forgotten because the actual sun would not engage in that. First of all, maintaining presence over 215 E.C. Street from morning until the evening when I exit. But not only that, it's never going to be over the roof of Upland Public Library. Never going to have what's supposed to be sunlight, and you understand that's not sunlight, it's directed light, that ongoing pattern, which is also on the bathroom door. That's a sexually violent threat, which I also documented, while demons are packed to the brim inside of that bathroom, maintaining presence, crouching in bathroom stalls, pacing all around. Opening and closing that door is ongoing activity creation, which I also show you, directed light behind that door. That is directed light that is reaching through the crevices of the door crack. None of this is light activity that's going to occur while the state's keeping the fake sun over the 280 North Lemon Apartments. If that was the actual sun, that is. That's not in Upland. It's not over the Upland Public Library. It's not in the direction that is north. The city of Upland is north of the city of Ontario. It is directly over the 280 North Lemon Apartments at 3:07 p.m., 3:47 p.m., 3:57 p.m. in perfect alignment with that entrance area of the Ovid Family Community Library. At no time is that maintaining any possible mutual presence over the roof of the Upland Public Library, which you also see. That's why the light source is moving in real time as I am going to the library. That is by virtue of seeing that movement, that migration, which is pursuant to my movement as I move, okay? If I stayed at a property in between Upland Public Library and Ovid Family Community Library, that's where the fake sun would remain. Not over the library, not over the Ovid Family Community Library or the Upland Public Library, right over my head at whatever location I'm at in between the two. That's where you're seeing the movement of that light source. That is not ubiquitous presence. That is not mutual presence in both cities over both buildings in alignment with the entrance, aiming that direct light. That is not what is going on, and that is very clearly seen in that documentation. So I just want to be clear. This is the sex offender documented, engaging in sexual violence with children, showing you what is that directed light. This is already documented, and so I will be referring to that sexual violence that has already been documented at this venue, and they are engaging in that same iteration of that P.O.C, while that which is directed light, engineered light, touching on the bathroom door, where you are documenting, where the entity is monitoring your documentation. That is a very specific type of threat. That is Satan itself. That is also not only hostile as you are revealing the tactics of Satan. This is the sex offender. That is Satan itself. I want to be clear. The ways in which we are describing the conduct of human beings that are perverted, that are abnormal, all right, that are unhealthy, all right, that are antisocial, if you will, sexually perverted. This is applicable to what is a spirit that you can't see. This is Satan that embodies all of that sickness that are manifest in what are people. Okay, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that every person that engages in a crime is necessarily demon-possessed. What I'm speaking to is the presence of Satan itself. This is not the sun. Right, and you are talking about what is a light source that is in direct conflict with the ongoing documentation of what is supposed to be the sun, and that documentation in and of itself is affirmative in and of itself. You are at what is now, I'm at the Upland Public Library in the morning, and the state's light source is over the venue, and not only that, the fact that it is over the venue is impossible to coexist with this pre-existing published documentation, but also this directed light that's on the bathroom door, I understand the vantage point of what sort of sunlight that would be, and actually you're also talking about what is movement from the entrance over me on the sidewalk
moving over the building as I approach the building of the Upland Public Library, which is not over also at the same time behind the library over the parking lot. It's right there over the edge, over me, over over Euclid Avenue while I'm walking toward Euclid Avenue. All right, the state's fake sun is just moving over the faces of the building toward the front portion of that building. As I walk inside of the building to the back facing the parking lot, the fake sun is visible in that window. That is Satan itself. This is demonic activity that I'm capturing for you, and placing that demonic activity in its proper context. This demonic activity is the engagement in what is criminal conduct. This demonic activity is engaging in what is sexually violent criminal conduct. Okay, while that demonic activity is underway in a bathroom, that's a prosecution for what is a sex offender, an unprecedented sex offender, an egregious one. Okay, and 12:56 p.m. So I want to be clear. You're going to remember what the state's doing with its directed light. It's pushing it into farther and farther into the depths of Ovid Family Community Library. Like that's the sun that's ever going to do that anyway, remaining present over the property, and aiming light not only through the back. I've gone to the back of the library facing the University of Laverne College of Law. That's weird. Okay, you're talking about what is how is it possibly then going to the back of the library? That this is literally movement of a light source over me, over whatever angle, side, facing area that I am facing inside of a building and while outside. Okay, and so you have what is directed light on the bathroom door. That is the image of what is relevant positioning of a sex offender inside of the bathroom. Also joined by what is a group of sex offenders maintaining presence for whatever it is that I may do as I'm exiting the study room, and I remain subject to surveillance and surrounding conduct. All right, and that's just the minions that are positioned inside of the bathroom. It also includes the men's restroom. It also includes the employees. It also includes the third parties that are here just engaging in surveillance all day, sitting inside of the library. And how do you know it's surveillance? Because the fake sun is here. That's all you're doing under the fake sun and indirected light. They're literally surrounded by the evidence. So it's 12:57 p.m. and this is P.O.C. That is documentation of what is federal stalking inside of the private space by what are the demon possessed. This is terrorism and the sex offender engaging in the P.O.C.
6FGA 882. It's 5:56 p.m. 8RKV 868 rather. 8DTA 696. 8ULJ 833, I believe. Can't really see that one though. It's 5:56 p.m. and I exited Upland Public Library. $7 p.m. 8JKB 878, 8XJZ 998, 8ALJ 253, 62757, that's handicap, 8CVX 895, 38392E2, 7B57474, 5ZNJ 571. It's 5:59 p.m. $7K, well, you can scratch that. 7SME 526, 05363F1, 8GZ 3148, 8SRZ 997.
It's 6 p.m. 7GJY 658, I believe. And see, 8JGY 718, 6YBT 820, 8VGM 572. This is Ryder. Ryder can't get enough of me. They're going to get it too. License 137366 13756G3. License. And understand it's not a personal thing, it's a spiritual thing. These are demons that are driving Ryder. Understand that. Set 4AMW. I can't really see the rest of it. And that's what that is. That's with regard to what are the ways in which Satan is communicating hostility. Satan is engaging in this demonic activity. License 8SLF 580. And it's 6:01 p.m. Seven EYG 698, 7 BBE 234. 8 VAG 609, 8 VXH 11, I can't see the rest of them, 8 JAK 300, 8 HEP 213, 05093G1, 7 KAS 107, 7 HNC 422, CF 300 handicap, 68945U2, 8HFX 204, 8XWF 928, 7ZLA or 7ZLM 927, I believe. 7Y05 828. It's 6:03 p.m. CWD 057, 6YXC 588, 8XOE 396. Let's see. 8KKA 225, 6LHT 591, 8NNGYE 5JAM 931, 7UZM 415. 89002W2, 8ZEK 799, I believe. And it's 6:04 p.m. 8YTY 459 and 8RQF 392, 8ELX 218, 266 08. I can't really see that one. Um, 8XSX 801. Light activity creation by Metrolink. I'm at 9th Street and Euclid Avenue. 8HDF 198. GS 156 handicap 6R. I can't really see that one. 8YAE 466. And it's 6:11 p.m. by the way. 7DFJ 430. 6W. 6W. J, I'm sorry, 6WNJ 475.
8UVR 016, 7WRG 091. All right, it's 6:12 p.m. 8SXD 147, 7GVY 058, 7JRD 977, 7KSB 794, 8NFE 235, 8MNH, I can't really see that one, 7ZOZ 077, 39528T2, 5JBK 405, 1567633, that's Upland Police Department, 5PXS 635, 8MQH 605, 6RZT 031. And those are third-party and state actors crossing path going north on Euclid Avenue. It's 6:18 p.m. Metrolink is creating, facilitating light activity and audible activity. 6RZK499. And Metrolink is going westbound right now. So I want to be clear, everyone, if any minion is on that, and by minion I mean third party in person, is crossing path by virtue of being on Metrolink, and Metrolink is also creating light activity and audible activity. Okay, so I just want to make sure that's clear. And they're going westbound. 7M04 396, 7VYK 902, 6FVG. I can't see the rest of them. 8DGD 522. 4598, 45958U2. I can't really see that one. 8JVL219, TMFUND, 7ACJ677, 8SZG306, 7VJE820. It is 6:14 p.m. Doo-doo. License 8CLT832, 8JJR734, 1SLOW77, 6DTA111, I believe, 8TCY387, 57371W2, 7AVD544, 8LLA585, 7KMP704, 8ZHB188, 8UON671, 7UPA568, 89049D3, 7ZTW873, 8VKN731, 5X42721, 7AVD544, 5VY8346, in case I didn't read that one, 7XXL812. Six PDR 386. It is 6:16 p.m. Eight VIA 342. 8 NND 997, 6A 128Z1, 8 CRY 127, 6 SWU 278, 8 HHU 714, I believe. Can't really see that whole light split. Substantially similar to that. 8 BZFU 352, 25782E3, 6 TZP 696, 7 PFR 393, 8 VNZ 230, 8 LK089, I believe. I can't see the whole plate though. I don't think that was everything. 99976L2. 7XIV 706. 8YRX 038. 6SSW 226, I believe. 8SQX 385. 8VJL 461 30852B3 Z4LOPEZ 7GRX 446 7SMB 742 JKN 6373, that's Texas, 8NVY 516 454ZHG excuse me, that is Wisconsin, on a black Mustang. 01834F1 7K92. I can't really see that whole plate though. You can scratch that one. Let's see. Six RDK 381 8 SDA 645, I believe. Can't really see that one. 8 SNA 625 8 LHC 437 8 LWA 468. Oh, you can scratch that one. I don't think I got that one correctly. This one is 6EJH 244 62366E2. That one is 8ADK 134. Yeah. And 92766A3. 5Y. I can't really see that one. That whole plate. 6YRS 132. 5BTZ 902. 5 U.S.C 321. 7ZOY 610, but I can't see the whole plate. 7JLF 576 or 526. 6KXZ095. 6NRT 400. 8YNN 425. 80573R1. 8XOA. I can't see the rest of that one though. 8Z. You can scratch that one. Can't see that one. 6VVH 352. 8UER 770. 7UMW 826. 8ULR 835. 7K1365, I believe. 8FXZ 150. 8PJF 707. 63739J3. 6EVX 253. And 5VJM 58. Can't really see the rest of that plate. It is 6:21 p.m. 8RFM 158. 6PVJ 671. Five DID 268. 8PXB 884. 7FID 994. 6ZNK 207. 7U QC 238. 6L69025. 6TYV 476. 44351X2. That's KO towing. KO towing is US.3712333. Their address is in Fullerton, California. It's 542 East Walnut. License plate 8XSX 801. It's 6:22 p.m. 6WBN 191. License 7WCE 154. License 8WUH 822. 8KJU 731. 8, I can't really see that one. 7YTU 812. 8AKJ 041. 7K, can't really see that one. Alright, and it's currently 6:23 p.m. 8VPF 442, molesting. It's currently 6:29 p.m. I'm going to document this sex offender 7THY 459 creeping in a parking lot. She's a predator waiting to touch. Coming around the corner. This is in the parking lot of Vaughn's. It's 6:43 p.m. GMNI 614. And then she's also loitering with light in the parking lot, monitoring with these sex offenders who are doing the exact same thing. They come around the corner. They're waiting to touch. They're crossing path with light. This is license plate 6SDL253. These are demons, okay? 8GVD970. And the first license plate that I read, they're engaging in the identical conduct, okay? You're literally talking about sitting on the side of the grocery store, demons knowing exactly where I'm stepping, as I'm stepping there, coming around the corner in order to touch with light. That's the conduct of a predator, and that is speaking to the prosecution for a sex offender. All right, and so I just read that license plate because I got her as she's then sitting in the parking spot in the parking lot, which is stalking in the path with light as well. But you also have what is an intent to engage in molestation by engaging in that conduct of stalking with light, while with knowledge of where I'm walking, where I'm going, and this is how you're stalking light. And there are demons that engage in that over and over and over again. All right, so anyway, this is at Vaughn's. This is P.O.C. It is currently 6:44 p.m. 7MPJ 808.
That Friday,
6CSL 651. 8VSL 796.
got me a test that said I was positive for COVID.
And
So then I had to wait.
8SZG
Find out
560.
Tuesday.
8KTN 515.